Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of the syndicated talk show, People of Distinction. The talk that gives you an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, alcoleenterprises.com for more info. Email me through benji@alcoleenterprises.com if you'd like to get involved with what we have going. And as always, please continue to like and follow our broadcasts. People of Distinction is internationally syndicated solely due to the love and support that you all continue to give. We're available across all major distributors, and as long as you keep following, we're going to continue to put out the content. Now sit back and strap in, because on the line with us today, we have the impressive Merrillynn West. And we're going to be discussing her amazing book, The Wi-Fi Devotional. It's Time to Reconnect. Now it's available for purchase through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a whole host of other places. People simply type it into a search bar and you're going to be greeted with all of it. And I'm telling you, this is a book you need to add to your shelf. Before I go any further, I want to quickly take this opportunity and point out the fact that Merrillynn was brought to our network by one of the best publishing firms in the business. People you already know, I'm talking about Author Reputation Press. So for my writers out there who have gone through their process and now you need some assistance moving that masterpiece you just developed, well, look no further than ARP, because this is exactly what they specialize in. You're going to want to head on over to authorreputationpress.com and gather all the ways that their fantastic team is going to help move your creative endeavors. And people, trust me when I tell you, man, I am thoroughly looking forward to this discussion. Me and Merrillynn, we're going to have some fun here today, okay? Her book, The Wi-Fi Devotional, it's going to help you deepen your faith, but it does it in such an original way. Such a great concept and an analogy that she has placed here, people. I'm going to ask you a question, and I already apologized to Merrillynn ahead of time. I'm going to keep the puns to a minimum, but I'm going to be making some puns here today, people. I'm going to ask you here, have you ever felt like your connection to God has a spotty or even a weak signal? Because listen, if you have, in this book, she is going to showcase some ways to help you maintain that strong connection, offering fresh insights on how to strengthen your faith in a distracted and disconnected world. I want to stop here for a second and quickly point out, it's interesting to me how with the way technology has advanced, with the way our society has grown, we are more disconnected than ever before. To one another, to our faith, our walk with God. We need to repair that signal, people, because we're missing some things. This book is going to offer so much wisdom, and it is a fantastic resource that you're going to need to add to your shelf. So trust me, man, whether you're searching for a stronger signal or you just need to recharge your faith, this book is the ultimate guide to staying plugged in to what truly matters. Merrillynn West is a name that needs to be remembered, and this is a book that needs to be added to your shelf. Sit back and strap in. Merrillynn, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How are you doing today?
I'm well. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, listen, we appreciate you writing the book and giving us the opportunity to speak to you, Merrillynn. I really do mean this. Honestly, I'm going to give you so much praise here today, girl, because what you have done is remarkable. And I'm telling you here, as someone who does this for a living, and I could talk to you about thousands of books that have similar concepts, I do believe in the way that message is delivered is so key. And that is not to talk bad about any previous guests or any previous books, but the way you are articulating this message is so crucial, and it is profound. So I'm here to tell you, you're doing some things. And Merrillynn, before we jump into the book, let's start off at the ground level here. Tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background.
I am a native San Franciscan, which is really weird. Not many African Americans left in San Francisco. Grew up here, matriculated through the system. Actually graduated from SS State. Spent 18 years, almost 20, medical front desk, and now I am just enjoying the fruits of my labor in terms of the book and jewelry making. Jewelry making, which is my small business.
Merrillynn, I'm curious, given your background, talk to us about the inspiration. How did we get here to writing this book?
There's so many paths I could take with this question, but I am a Christian, born and raised in the church. I was licensed to preach 2023. 2021. And I've been a writer a good portion of my life, or what I like to deem as a writer, like writing poetry and writing articles, newsletters, things like that. And so that started my walk with trying to do this thing called the book. So, yeah.
Okay, well, sticking with inspiration here. Again, I told you plenty of times, and I'm going to keep on telling you, I love the Wi-Fi analogy that you've incorporated here. Well, I'm curious to know, how did you come up with the idea of using that analogy for connecting with Jesus? Was there a specific moment or even experience that inspired that comparison?
It really, and truly, it is the experience I have in the beginning of the book. I was working, and I bought this really cheap cord for my phone, and so blew the phone. And so go to the dealership, and I say, hey, blew the phone, and the guy was really told me, if you get a cheaper connection or a cheaper cord, or a cheaper charger, it blows the phone more than it helps, even though it's quick and easy. And so I thought about that, even in the relationship, people, or spiritually or with God, it's not a quick and easy thing. It takes time and connection and reconnection. And that's kind of how it really started with me putting these things down on paper, and these thoughts where we connect and where we disconnect in life.
Love that. Well, Merrillynn, I have a lot of other questions that we're going to get into, but first and foremost, let's learn a little bit more about the book. I think that's probably a good place to go next. The Wi-Fi Devotional, It's Time to Reconnect. Tell us more about it.
It is a 30-day devotional, Christian-based, but I'm pretty sure there's some points in there that just roll across whole life. And it is divided in 4 sections and things that have influenced me in my personal life, whether I have one section on just those heroes that I have, that the things that they specifically said to me in my life really influenced me. And music, I'm a big music fan. My mother was a church musician, so that tells you that I had to take piano lessons. So music has always been a large part of my life, and I couldn't do this book without incorporating music daily and as a section of the book. And just words, and consider myself a writer if there were certain words that didn't always hit me and hit the relationship or the representative of a relationship in the Christian walk. So that's 4 weeks of connecting with God.
I love what you're talking about in terms of the constant checking in and the fact that you're allowing this as a guide, right, over the 30 days for individuals to always, again, check back in to really strengthen their faith along the way. Because this is my next question, and I know a lot of people can relate, similar to a Wi-Fi connection. Sometimes you have a spotty connection, right? Sometimes there's buffering, there's a weaker signal. So with faith and with our journey, it's not like, hey man, we have this strong connection with God and it's like we're always at the mountaintop constantly. There's peaks and valleys, there's ebbs and flows. So my question now to you, I guess if we're using the analogy of buffering, this would be considered, I guess, spiritual buffering. Well, what advice do you have for readers who feel like they're experiencing that inconsistency?
Gosh, there's a time in everybody's life where they feel disconnected in some manner, some form. And sometimes it's good to just sit still. I mean, sometimes we search for the answers and we try to fix it right away. And sometimes we just need to sit still and enjoy. I won't say enjoy because it's hard to enjoy at that point in life, but sit still and see blessings. And remember the things that we have in life, the great experiences. Sometimes, me personally, I have to step out of my house and just let the wind blow in my face and realize, I didn't create that. I don't control that, and that's where I am in life. I'm not controlling it. Feel like I'm buffering. It feels like circles, but eventually the buffering does stop. Eventually you get to a place where you can move forward. You may feel stuck, and you get to a place where you move forward and you begin your journey again, or you feel like you can move on from whatever space you're in.
People, I'm telling you, this is a book you want to get your hands on. Again, it's called the Wi-Fi Devotional. It's Time to Reconnect by Merrillynn West. Head on over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and pick up your copies today. Merrillynn, sticking along this same line of running into those interferences. Well, as we are continuing to build our faith, what are certain things that you feel that you've come across, and you can either talk from your personal perspective or, maybe research or people that you have spoken to along the way? What are some common signal interferences that can intercede and disrupt that connection that we've established?
Oh gosh, there's so many things in life. My personal experience, losing both parents, was definitely like somebody shook the whole earth for me, losing both parents. I lost my mom in 2014 and my dad in 2023, and then coming back, trying to just live life, trying to just go to work, get up in the morning, brush your teeth, that can throw you,
Right.
And then just life, not just death, but mourning all losses, When you lose a job, you lose something. When you lose, something priceless to you, maybe it was just a ring to somebody else, but, to you it was something. So you mourn your loss. That's one way I've learned. Mourn them all. Take a moment, that I learned, funny, from, I don't know if anybody remembers that first episode of The Cosby Show where they had a whole funeral for the goldfish, but just mourning all your losses and just taking the moment, because you do miss things, and then losses do it, death does it, financial things do it, turbulent times, work is not cool, adjustments, family tripping, it's so much out there that can disconnect us, and so the car breaks down, just whatever it is in life, day-to-day things, it that easily can just disconnect us and leave us in a buffering place.
Merrillynn, as we start to close out of here, your book is a 30-day devotional, right? So it's meant to be utilized over the course of a month. Well, are there any particular ones that you think stand, or you have a stronger connection to, a more personal connection with any one of those particular devotionals?
My devotional, the whole week about those who influenced my life definitely stands out. My grandfather, my mother, my father, a really good friend that passed away, and my hero. I love Representative John Lewis. And so that week, really connecting to the words that they gave me. My mother gave me that praying, if you're going to pray, don't worry. If you're going to worry, don't pray. And that has always stuck with me. That's always been a vital part of my life. Thinking I'm counted out. My grandfather always said God doesn't count numbers, he makes numbers count. And that has always been, when you feel counted out, like, oh no, I'm not counted out. I'm just as important. Just because my number's not big, or just because I'm not that big, doesn't mean I'm not important. Just realizing the words that others put into you and give you to influence your life have a place. And so that whole section of the book reminds me that those people, those elders, in my life, the Bible calls them a cloud of witnesses, that those people, not just God, put something in me to connect with the rest of the world.
There you have it. People, there's a much longer discussion we could have. I don't even see how we top that. Listen, Merrillynn is not only an embodiment of a person of distinction, but just clearly from the influences that she has had growing up. Man, she comes from a long line of distinct individuals with some absolute gems that they have been able to offer. People, trust me when I tell you, this book is the precipice of so much. Now understand, like we've discussed, it's not like you get there and all of a sudden the work is done. This is something that you're going to continue to come back to. This is something you want to constantly check in with. But I promise you, man, this book is powerful and it can truly help shift your perception and realign things in a much, much stronger way. You know where to go. One last time, it's Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble. It's called the Wi-Fi Devotional. It's time to reconnect. This is a challenge that I pose to each and every one of you out there listening in. Pick up this book and challenge yourself to follow the guide, but then constantly revisit it, because after those 30 days, man, the journey is just beginning. Allow it to push you on that walk. Man, this is something special. Merrillynn, this was honestly was a wonderful discussion, and I can't tell you enough how happy it has made me. And I know for my listening audience, it's something that really has opened a lot of eyes. Thank you for writing this amazing book. Thank you for the gems you've been able to share. But most importantly, thank you for being here with us to discuss it all through people of distinction.
I truly appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much.